As the Warriors get ready to take care of conference postseason business, they know the challenge of winning on the road lies in front of them. Having already suffered a two-match sweep on the UC Irvine home court 2 months ago, the Warriors are now hoping to return the favor and to extend their run in the MPSF Championship Tournament. From a sold-out Crawford Court on the campus of UC Irvine, K5, the home team, presents the Mountain Pacific Sports Federation Men's Volleyball Championship Tournament. In tonight's opening round match, it's the 5 seed, the Hawaii Warriors, against the 4 seed, the Anteaters of UC Irvine. How you doing, everybody? I'm Russell Yamanoha, along with Sean Carney, former Warrior setter, bringing you tonight's playoff match from up here in Irvine, California. It's an evenly matchup we have here tonight with Hawaii and UC Irvine going at it. It's the 4 and 5 seed in this tournament, so you figured they'd be evenly matched, but in more ways than one, these two teams can line it up and go toe-to-toe.
Yes, so far this year, they played 2 really close games. 4 of the 8 games that they played went extra time, so I'm expecting big games from both teams and a good match to watch.
So it will be evenly matched, but still Hawaii with some bad history to overcome. They are 0-7 for their last 7 matches played up here in Irvine. They have never won in the opening round of the MPSF tournament on the road. They are 0-5 all time. So that history works against Hawaii. Trying to change that tonight would be Jonas Umlauf and Josh Walker.
Josh Walker and Jonas Umlauf, pretty much the dynamic duo of the UH offense. No team wants to play against them. In playoff time, I'm expecting both these guys to show up and have great matches tonight.
So that'll set us up from Crawford Court. The downside for this arena, only 800 capacity. The upside, especially if you're an Irvine fan, they will be packed in tight tonight with a sold-out crowd expected for this opening round match in the MPSF tournament. When we come back, we'll fire it up from Irvine, California, Hawaii, and UC Irvine in the MPSF quarterfinals. After the singing of the national anthem, we're back here live at UC Irvine for the opening round of the MPSF postseason tournament. Let's take a look at your starting lineup, sponsored by Hawaiian Tel Federal Credit Union, where membership is open to all island residents. Heli mai, you belong. Let's take a look at the starting 7 actually for the University of Hawai'i as we get started here. Stephen Hunt, Joshua Walker, and Jonas Umlauf, the outside hitters. Umlauf, of course, the first team all MPSF player. Shane Welch, Brennan Dyer, the middle blockers. The setter will be senior Nate Zemyak, and Nick Costello will be the libero for the University of Hawai'i. As the 5 seed in this tournament, they are on the road for this opening round match, although the teams are ranked 3rd and 6th in the country. Let's take a look at Charlie Wade in the 2nd year of the University of Hawai'i leading this program. He's 34 and 22, and he would love to pick up win number 35 tonight here at UC Irvine to open the MPSF party in 2011. On the other side of the court for the Anteaters of UC Irvine, the outside hitters, Jordan Dufault, Carson Clark, he's a big one for the Irvine Anteaters, and Corey Yoder, the outside hitters, Scott Dvorkin, Kevin Wynn, the middle blockers, Anthony Spittle, the experienced setter, and Will Thomas will be the libero for UC Irvine. On the other side is John Sproul. He's in his 9th year here at Irvine, 172 and 100. There you see the record for him. He's led UCI to a couple of national championships, and he's won NCAA titles as a head coach, assistant coach, and also as a player. John Sproul, the head coach for UCI. When we come back, we'll get it started. It's small here at Crawford Court, but they are loud, pumped up, and ready to go. It's Hawaii and UC Irvine to get the MPSF playoffs underway when we come back. Back here at UCI, let's take a look at the keys to the match, sponsored by Kaiser Permanente. Live well, be well, and thrive. First up for Hawaii.
Hawaii's key to the game tonight is hunting season. Steve Hunt had his best performances this season versus Irvine, totaling 14 kills night 1 and 20 kills night 2. Irvine coach John Sproul said if he had to choose one UH player to shut down tonight, it would be Hunt. With the Anteaters keen on Hunt, let's see if he can have another big night and lead Hawaii to a victory. For UC Irvine, it's aces wild. UC Irvine relies heavily on their strength from behind the service line to score real points during the match. In the 2 matches this year versus the Warriors, they totaled 18 aces as a team. Look for Irvine to take some risk from behind the service line to keep this high-powered Warrior offense on his heels.
Let's take a look at the up official here for this afternoon's match. It's Eric Asami, the up referee. As the crowd starts to get into it here at UC Irvine as the MPSF playoff gets underway. On the other side of it is Kevin Cull, the low referee, and they will be under the gun tonight. Definitely with the crowd pulling for the hometown Anteaters. Matt Lavoy and Tom Ulibari on the other side calling the Lions out here, and it's going to be a packed house. As we mentioned, this match is sold out. This is not the normal home court for UC Irvine. They normally play at the Brand Event Center, capacity of about 5,000, but because of some scheduling going on the holiday weekend, this match was forced into Crawford Court, normally the home court for the women's volleyball team, but we'll talk about that as it goes along, because this court will present all kinds of problems for both the University of Hawaii and UC Irvine. And we'll talk about that as the match goes along. As Zemniak gets us underway, he puts the opening serve into the net. Just like that, the Anteaters will take a 1-0 lead.
Nate Zemniak's probably the most consistent server that UH has. But today, with both teams going really hard from the service line, I'm expecting a lot of aces and a lot of errors.
Carson Clark back to serve it, the first serve of the match for UCI, and he too puts it into the net. So some nerves maybe right off the bat for both of these teams.
Yes, I think it's just getting started. Everyone's getting comfortable in the match. Sparral said before the game that he's not worried about the errors as long as his team's aggressive.
Joshua Walker, all MPSF second team. He's back to the serve. He gets it across. UCI now on the attack. They try to think it over. Zemniak will pop it towards the middle. Costello outside. Here comes Umlauf. Gets one off the libero. UCI with the answer. They come back the other way. It goes off the block and out. And UC Irvine, the crowd pumped up about this one. They were lined up in a big bunch outside the arena about an hour and a half before opening serve. The first 200 students for UC Irvine got in free of charge, so that helped get everybody out here, but they are fired up for this one. Hunt goes right off the block and it hits off the roof, and that'll give us a chance to tell you about that. The roof here at Crawford Court is very, very low, and that is going to play a big part in this match here tonight. Anything that hits off the ceiling and comes back on your side of the court is playable, but if it goes back onto the other side, that'll be a point for the other team, and that's going to be a big issue in this match. All through the warm-ups, both teams kept hitting digs off that ceiling. So we'll see how it plays out as we move on here. And just like that, it's Carson Clark trying to keep it off the roof by driving one right through the floor.
Now you can see why Irvine's such a dangerous team. When they're in system, Carson Clark runs a really fast ball. So it's UH has to almost commit on him in order to get a block.
Scott Kevorkian back to serve for the Anteaters. The toss gets it over, dug up by Hunt, and it hits off the ceiling. Hunt now tries to get it back across his ding shot. He took something off of that. It goes off an Irvine player and down to the floor, and that'll be a point for Hawaii.
Credit Nate Zemniak on this. You can't really see, but the ball is coming back down at a faster speed once it hits the roof. So Nate's just got his feet there and got a nice set out to Steve Hunt, who just played it over.
You'll see a bunch of players look a little confused here tonight as the digs go off the ceiling. There's another one hitting off the ceiling there. It hits off the roof. That'll change the trajectory of the ball. The players have to respond to it on their side of the court, and it's going to cause all kinds of problems. So UC Irvine, the Anteaters, this is not their normal home court, as we mentioned. They play in the Brent Center, so Brent Events Center. So this could be a little bit of an advantage to Hawaii, as both of these teams technically not playing on their home floor. UC Irvine not playing, they're on their home campus, but not their home floor. This one goes off the block and off the roof and into the crowd. That's a point for the Anteaters.
Spittle, Anthony Spittle, their setter did a great job right there. Pushed the ball all the way across the court, but still had a good tempo on the set. So UH had trouble getting out there with a solid block.
Spittle, the 6'1 senior out of Redondo Beach, back to the serve, gets it across. Joshua Walker will pop it up. Zemniak outside to Umlauf. He goes off the block, sends the linesman scrambling. That hits the floor, and that's a point for Hawaii. So we talked about them being evenly matched. It's playing out that way, especially in the early going right here. It's 5-4 Hawaii. Stephen Hunt. Soft serve over the middle. Here comes UCI on the attack. They go right down the middle. It's off of Hunt. And again, off the ceiling. We should take a take a little count of how many balls hit the ceiling tonight, because that is going to be a problem all night long. 5-5 in the opening set. Jordan Dufault, the 6'4" senior out of Lakewood, California, back to serve for the Anteaters. Trying to break this 5-all tie. Puts it over, Josh Walker. Zemniak right in the middle to Shane Welch. Welch looks like he almost mishit that one, but it works out for Hawaii. It falls on the Irvine side.
Sometimes that's the hardest shot to dig. When the middle goes up, but doesn't get a full attack at it, it's kind of off. Spittle makes a good attempt, but not quite there.
So Welch. Serve. Here comes UCI. They get a quick set to the middle and right through the middle of that Hawaii defense.
So far, both teams been mirroring each other, missing serve after serve, and now one middle set to UH. Irvine comes back and sets their middle right away.
Kevin Wynn back there. He's one of the taller players for UC Irvine. The set goes in, the serve goes into the net. Wynn, a 6'7" senior out of Mission Viejo, nearby Mission Viejo.
And one thing that's unique about this Irvine team that Sproul said, it's not the normal tall Irvine team. This is a scrappy, smaller team, but they still make it happen.
So way back with the crowd in his back pocket is Zemniak, the high toss in the serve. He gets it over. Here comes UCI. Trying to save it is Zemniak, but it goes off of him into the crowd. We've got a back and forth battle right here in the opening set.
Good serve though. Nate's got it in. Made Irvine have to deal with the ball, but they put it down once again through the middle.
Carson Clark leads the team with 4.55 kills per game. There's one off the ceiling. Here comes Hawaii. Umlauf. That's dug up. Irvine has to scramble. Clark, a little miscommunication. He tried to go out for it, and right in front of him was Spittle. He thought the better of it, went right over the top of Spittle, and almost a collision there for UCI, but Hawaii will take it.
Actually jumping over Spittle, I think, right there, which is quite athletic.
So some confusion for UCI as Walker gets the serve. He pops one off the ceiling. Here comes the Anteaters. Costello, he'll go far side to Umlauf. And that's smoke right through the Irvine defense, and Umlauf posts another one.
Umlauf is such a good player to have on your team. The reason why, if you get a dig up anywhere, you throw a high ball up to him and let him play. At 6'9", 6'10", he can hit over most blocks in this league.
Joshua Walker back. The high toss of the serve, he puts it into the net. Hawaii's going to have to serve well in this match. UC Irvine, a lot of aces the last time they played Hawaii up here in Irvine. And Irvine definitely used that to their advantage. Hawaii would love to return the favor in the MPSF tournament here tonight. Zemniak far side, Umlauf goes off the block. Anteaters have to scramble back the other way. They go right in the middle. The quick set to Kevorkian.
It's a good play right there, running the middle. Brennan Dyer makes a good read on it and actually commits, but still able to get around the block and get a kill.
Josh Walker pops up the serve. Here comes quick set in the middle to Dyer. Looks like he hit it out.
Looks like both setters have the same game plan in the hand. Once again, mirroring each other.
Yoder back to serve for UCI. Popped up by Walker. Here comes Hunt. He hit one right at Yoder. Yoder got an arm up to hit it, but couldn't pop it up high enough. Ends up being a point for Hawaii.
Steve Hunt starting off strong so far. Need to keep him involved the whole match to keep UCI on their heels.
Yeah, and during the warm-up, Stephen Hunt looked like he was on a mission. He was out here just ripping shots right off the floor. He looks like he was out for business. And just as you mentioned it, he gets up to put one down. Stephen Hunt with the point for Hawaii.
He's a very emotional player, Stephen Hunt. So you have to make sure he's on the right emotion. Once he's down, it's tough to get back in. So having him up so good right now in the game, it's good for UH.
So Hunt kills the overpass. Got to put Dyer back to serve. Off the tape, here comes UCI. Clark, he's dug up. Zemniak goes behind him to Umlauf. Bad set. That'll give UCI a chance. They go off the block and out.
That's Jordan Default's game right there. Hunt's really good at hitting off of hands, not necessarily making the big kill, but still getting the ball down to the court wherever it takes. Sparrow said he's a great player to have because you don't have to worry about him making a lot of errors.
Scott Dvorkin back to serve, the 6'9" freshman out of Westlake Village. Zemjak was right behind him to Umlauf, and Umlauf puts that one through the floor.
So far, Umlauf already has 7 attempts, so you can see UH is trying to run him often as they can because he's such a weapon to have.
He goes back to serve, and he's got fans right there standing there with him, working on 3 kills. A tough serve, hits off the ceiling. UC Irvine has to pop it over, a chance for Hawaii. Zemjak was near side to Hunt, off the block. Irvine now trying to return it. They go far side, and look at that one. The emotion showed right there by Jordan Default, the 6'4" senior. He puts one straight down in front of the Hawaii block, and he was pumped up.
Spittle starts off hustling for a ball, and look what it leads to. Another point for UC Irvine, finding the seam in between the UH block.
Serve comes over. Here comes Zemjak, near side Hunt. He goes right in front of the libero. That's Will Thomas. Thomas can't handle it, and these two teams are going back and forth, just like we talked about. They did that last time when they were up here playing earlier this season, a couple of matches here in Irvine. Stephen Hunt already with 5 kills in this opening set. Irvine. That's dug up, and now they have a chance that the pass goes over onto the Irvine side. The block at the net is Joshua Walker. Here comes Irvine. Clark, he's blocked again. Spittle, the set back. The set goes back to Carson Clark, and he gets it off the Hawaii block.
Both teams fighting hard for that point. I think Irvine must have covered 3 or 4 balls in order to get this last kill by Carson Clark. Once again, going down the line where Nate Zemjak is the smallest blocker that UH has, trying to use him.
Back to serve for UCI is Default. Costello will pop it up. Zemjak near side Walker. He goes right over the block and off the libero Thomas.
I think UH got a little break right there. That ball looked like it might have been sailing out. Let's see if it got a touch when he went up to hit it. Can't quite tell, but from my angle, it didn't look like it got a touch. So UH gets a nice break to keep them in the game. 1-point lead.
Sam Biscaro replaces, Zemjak still out there. So Biscaro with Hawaii with 2 setters. Technically in the match. Here comes Biscaro with the serve. He steps on the service line, and it's a multi-purpose arena in this Crawford Court. That thick blue line around the court is actually out of bounds. At that time, Biscaro stepped on the line. There's also a brown line that's sort of offset in the middle of the court that sort of provides an optical illusion. You see that brown line there just off the net on the right of your screen. This is a strange place, this Crawford Court. As a shot from Hawaii goes off the block and out of bounds. This takes us to Hawaii. 1st to 15 here in the opening set. Hawaii and UC Irvine in a battle to get us started. Let's quickly take a look at the health report sponsored by HMSA, working for a healthier Hawaii. All players healthy all the way around on both sides of the court. And that's a good thing for both of these teams because both of them, this is an evenly matched contest. They need everybody.
One thing though is Stephen Hunt has been battling a kind of off back this whole week, taking some time off in practice, but obviously so far 5 for 6. He's doing well tonight. Back doesn't seem to be bothering him.
So 15 for Hawaii, 14 for UC Irvine. Zemjak to serve. Here comes UC Irvine. It's in just inside the back line is Carson Clark.
That's Clark's 5th kill already, 5 for 8. So UC Irvine right now is hitting above 600. UH hitting almost 600. So no team really getting any block kills. Mostly offensive.
These two teams, UC Irvine and Hawaii, 2 and 3 in the MPSF as far as kills go. They're playing that out here tonight. Jared Lofi into the match for Hawaii. Look at the bump up by Costello, saving it for Hawaii. Thomas, a dink attempt by Jordan Default, took something off of it too much, went right into the net.
Good hustle right there by Nick Costello. Funny thing about Nick, he's a Hawaii guy, but last year he was playing for community college here in Irvine, so this is a big game for him as well.
Walker serves one off the tape. Right at, the shot was right at Zemyak. He can't handle it. It goes into the first row. It's a point for Irvine.
Both teams have been running their middles a lot in the beginning of the game so far. Both teams not really well known for that. They usually are using their pin hitters. So I think both coaches might have had the same strategy, try to attack each other's weaknesses. And that's why it's such a good game so far.
Comes Hawaii on the attack. Right in front of us is Stephen Hunt. He hits it off the block and out.
It's a good set right there by Nate Zemniak, realizing that UC Irvine's Anthony Spittle at 6'1" is a blocking trouble for them. So you can go outside. Steve Hunt should be able to get kills all day with that block.
Brennan Dyer back to serve for Hawaii. Hawaii still holding on to that 1-point lead. He serves it long. And that'll take us back even to 17 all. On the other side of the court is number 11, Scott Kevorkian for Irvine. High toss and a jump serve, and he puts it into the net. Irvine, the #1 team in the MPSF as far as aces per game. And so far, they're having some issues with the service error. The 4th service error of the match for UC Irvine. 3rd, actually. Hawaii will take it every time. Olaf pops it up. Because they have to scramble for it. That gives a free chance to UCI. Here comes Clark. He goes off the Steve Hunt block attempt and out beyond the end line. We're tied at 18.
One thing you might want to watch is UC Irvine loves running their back row middle. So Corey Yoder that time went up, didn't quite have the hit, but looked to Irvine to run that almost 1 every 4 balls.
Kevin Carroll back to serve for Irvine. Well, that was close to that sideline, right in front of the line referee. He called it in. The crowd getting on the Hawaii players. It draws a timeout for Charlie Wade, and Hawaii having some issues here as UC Irvine snakes back out on top, 19-18. Hawaii leads the all-time series with UCI 29-12 as you take a look at the series record, sponsored by Acid Hotels and Resorts. Over 62 years of Kama'aina hospitality. Hawaii leads in the overall series, but as we mentioned in the open, Hawaii's lost their last 7 matches played here in Irvine, be it here at Crawford Court or right across the way at the Brand Event Center. Hawaii's 0 for their last 7 up here in Irvine. So see how that unfolds here as Stephen Hunt tries to do something about that. Goes just inside the Irvine block, right in front of us, and he gets the kill. 7
kills so far, 7 for 8 for Stephen Hunt. So he's keeping UH in the game right now. Josh Walker's only had 1 set attempt so far this match. So Stephen Hunt playing really well in game 1.
Hunt pops it over. Thomas knocks it up illegal for UCI. Goes off the block. Costello goes to Zemyak. Zemyak near side Walker. He goes just inside, but it looks like it hit the antenna. So that goes out. It's a point for Irvine. Anteaters first to 20 in this back and forth opening set.
Josh Walker need maybe just a little higher ball right there in order to get a good approach.
Default to serve. Zemyak has to make a big run for it, and Walker took something off, puts it right where they aimed. There was a big hole in the middle of that Irvine defense. Walker saw it as he was going up and took advantage of it.
And that shows you how dangerous Josh Walker is as a player. He sees that there's a triple block on upon him, and right behind the block there's open court. The reason why there's open court is he can swing from anywhere on the court and hit angles that players all around the nation can't do. So UC Irvine trying to get up a good block, play some defense. Josh Walker takes care of it, putting the ball down to the ground.
The serve by Shane Welch. Here comes Irvine. To go right through the Hawaii defense. That time was Corey Yoder. And he returns the favor. And this opening set has just gone back and forth and back and forth.
And Spittle did a good job right here. Coach Spiros said UH might have the advantage because they can play high balls off the net. But Spittle keeps them in system, quick to the outside, and a nice kill.
Jeremy Dano back to serve. And he comes into the match and promptly puts one right into the net. So he takes a spot on the bench. Kevin Wynn, the 6'7" senior, will come back in for Irvine. That'll send Nate Zemyak back to serve on the other side. We're tied at 21 in the opening set. Hawaii lost a pair of matches earlier this year up here in Irvine, both in 4 sets. So they have some experience playing on the road here in Irvine against this Anteater squad this season. That time from the far side came Corey Yoder, and he just kind of muscled one through the Hawaii defense. Got a point for Irvine.
There's one of those bigs that we were talking about. Extremely quick out of the middle. Zemyak gets one dig, but the second dig, he can't quite get up.
You see the numbers on Yoder as Clark goes back to serve, and he put too much mustard on the hot dog, and that one goes long into the standing room only section. We're tied at 22.
Back-to-back service errors by UCI. Such a crucial time in the game. They need to keep the ball in play.
And it's been a while since any of these teams have had a 2-point lead. And you got to win by 2 in volleyball, remember that. So this is going to be a battle.
Right there, good tip over the middle blocker. Jonas Umlauf pointing to himself. He knew he should have been the one that got that ball and gave UH a chance. To have to be 23-22, you have to hit the floor for every ball.
So Hawaii puts Matthew Cheap into the match. Stephen Hunt pops it up. Zemyak will go right back at him, and he goes right down Broadway. That's Stephen Hunt. And what do you know? We're tied at 23.
That matchup, Spittle versus Hunt. So far, Hunt's got all of that matchup. 8 for 9 right now, and UH loves it. Keep setting him the ball. See if he can get you a win.
Dyer across the middle. That goes right off the libero Thomas, and boy, he needed that one. So did his team. That's going to draw us to a timeout. Hawaii on the edge of taking this thing, but UC Irvine trying to hold off the tide in front of their home crowd here at Crawford Court. Some familiar faces on the 76 leaderboard, sponsored by 76 Gas, provided in Hawaii by locally owned Mid-Pac Petroleum. The MPSF kill leaders. There you see Jonas Umlauf for Hawaii right up there at the top. He's on the floor here tonight, as is Carson Clark for UC Irvine. On the other side of the net, 5.55 kills per set for Umlauf, 4.55 for Clark. As Dyer goes back to serve for Hawaii, needing a point here to put set 1 away. Off the tape, Thomas will pop it up. Here comes Irvine, far side. He goes right off the big attempt and into the first row with Stephen Hunt. Hunt gave it the college effort. It missed the ceiling, but it did come down across press row, and Stephen Hunt showing how much this match means. He's going for it.
Now, as you might see right now, Matt Sheep has subbed in the game for Josh Walker. What it does, there's no back row attack, but the passing is now on the court.
Cheap pops it up. Zemyak, far side Umlauf. He goes right off the block and out. So Hawaii will take that, and again, Hawaii moves to within a point of taking the opening set. They go to their second set point.
And once again, these two teams going extra time in order to get the win. We said it'd be close. It's going to be close like this all night long.
23 tie scores so far in this opening set. Cheap got down to dig that one up, but it goes about 5 rows into the crowd.
It's a big kill right there by Yoder. He hasn't been having the best from the back row, but Spittle gives him a chance on game point, and he says, "Thank you, setter. I'll put the ball down for you."
So in men's volleyball, it's first to 25. Both are at 25, but we're still rocking. Zemyak has to pump that one up. The official's going to call that one off of the antenna, I believe.
And I think this is a bad call. I've been looking at the net right here, and I think it hit the net, but didn't hit the antenna. You can still play the ball if it doesn't hit the antenna. Let's take a look. Ball goes up. Oh, that's clearly not out of bounds. A good foot. So UH, if they don't get a replay, really tough luck.
Yeah, Hawaii got robbed right there. And you can see Charlie Wade, he's not happy with that. The official making that call, he's on the far side. He's probably in the worst place he could possibly be to make that call, being up on that up stack, and they're going to play play the match, play the point over.
It's a good call right there. The linesman came up and said, ball did not hit the antenna. And as you see, Nate Zemniak still put up a good set. So that's a good replay by both refs. Good call.
So we're tied at 25. The teams will take the redo. Spittle back to serve for UCI. Hunt, Zemniak, far side Umlauf. He rips one right down the middle, and Hawaii will take it again to set point.
Umlauf right now 5 for 9. In key points, give Umlauf the ball. And now Josh Walker's back in the game for front row attacking. Let's see if UH can get one key stop to get the win.
Hawaii needs to score here. This thing has just gone back and forth. We're going to be here for a while from Crawford Court. Stephen Hunt serves it over. Here comes UCI. That's popped up. Welch tried to pop it over, but now UCI gets it back. And they go right down to number 7. That's Jordan Default. And he again takes us to even at 26.
The Warriors had a shot at it. Nick Costello getting a good dig. But UCI says, give us another chance at it. We won't let you have it back. Nice kill right off Josh Walker's outside hand.
Well, this match is going back and forth. With a nice serve receive. Umlauf get it over. Here comes UCI. Walker screaming through the net, but Spittle gets the kill. I believe it was Spittle, number 4. And you can see the emotion from him.
That is a huge play right there. Carson Clark getting up in transition, elevating and slamming the ball down, getting a 1-point advantage. It
was Carson Clark, but Spittle with the reaction, and we're tied again. Hawaii, actually Irvine with the 1-point lead, 27-26. Coming up at the end of this match, at the rate it's going, it may never end. A member from each team will be selected as the most valuable player. The most valuable player award is sponsored by the Bank of Hawaii. So Hawaii with a few chances to take this opening set. They could not capitalize. Now Irvine has a chance. The Anteaters take it to set point up 27-26, and they are back to serve. Back there for the Anteaters is Jordan Default. High toss, here's the serve. He gets it over. Costello has to dive at it. Here comes Walker. That's popped up by UCI. They have a chance coming back the other way. Yoder. Look at this attempt here by Walker. He saves it. Umlauf can't put it away. That's Clark. He hits it off Zemniak and over the head of Umlauf, and that will put the baby to bed here in the opening set. A knockdown, drag out of third, and Irvine takes 28-26.
And Clark showing why he's a second-time first-team MPSF. 2 big points at the end of the game. Not needing much room to elevate, goes straight up, puts a good swing just outside Jonas Umlauf's reach, and Irvine takes the win.
So Hawaii with their chances, but they could not take it. Irvine stays alive long enough to claim the opening set. We come back with set 2 from Crawford Court here in Irvine, California, right after this.